Welcome back to episode 2 of the Texas Trident podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel and any other place that we have this posted. Let's get it going. Welcome back, guys. Last time we talked about a lot. We apologize for any technical difficulties we had. It's our first episode. We will be smoothing those out from here on out. Today we're gonna finish up what we were talking about. I believe last time we were talking about we were going position by position, talking about just players. We did all the outfielders, most of the infield, and I think it's time today to talk about pitchers. So we can just go through our starting pitching rotation and just go guy by guy. Take a couple minutes on each one of them, not take too long. I think first one we should highlight is Logan Gilbert. Tanner, I'll let you talk about him for a minute, and I'll give some thoughts as well.
All right, well, Logan Gilbert, I think he had a pretty solid year this year. Other than all the little minor injuries he went through, I think having some other guys in the rotation that stepped up and his downfall with his injuries and stuff really helped. But I liked what I saw at the end of the season and bringing it towards coming into the 2026 season. I think it's going to be a good season for him and a good bounce back, and I'm pretty excited to see what he has. But I think it's going to be a better season than last season, as long as he can stay injury free for sure. That'd be my hopes, but you never know.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like that's the story of a lot of our rotation this year was just injuries.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
So we had Logan Gilbert was injured for a little bit. This year we had a little bit of Brian Woo's injury at the end of the year. I think killed a lot of the momentum. I mean, we still went deep into the playoffs, but I think if you have Brian Woo in that rotation consistently, it changes everything tremendously. Because, I mean, everybody looks at the 2 starts that he had in Toronto. Excuse me.
I mean, it wasn't even a start. It wasn't even a start,
yeah. Coming out of the bullpen, they look at his couple performances and they're like, oh, well, he didn't do as well. It's like he was coming off an injury. It sucks, but stuff like that just happens. But I think this year we'll get to see a lot of those guys back to normal. Bryce Miller as well dealt with injuries a lot this year.
Can't forget George Kirby. He came off the beginning of the season straight on the IR. I mean, it's hard to bounce back when you're missing 3 to 4 months of the season and you're watching all the guys pitch and doing great things when you're sitting back and relaxing. I think it does affect you a little bit, but I think injuries is a big thing that needs to be cleared up this year.
And I think is once those guys, if they come out of the gate healthy, they're only going to build. They're only going to get better as the season goes on. And I mean, we've talked about most of our starters. We got Bryce Miller. I mean, I think the only one we didn't talk about was Luis. Luis Castillo. He was consistent. He had his moments where he was the most consistent starter we had because we had guys coming off injuries. They weren't doing so hot. They were getting readjusted, and it was nice to have Luis, who was there pretty much the whole season. I don't think he had any injuries. Maybe one.
I believe he didn't even miss a start this year. I don't think he missed a start.
Yeah, so
he's like the firm foundation in that rotation. It's crazy. Even though he's not the best, but he was just so consistent with his performance and how your best ability is your availability. I've always been told that. I believe that, and it shows because when you're available 32 starts out of the year, you're going to get paid whether you're a 3.5 guy that just eats up innings or you're a sub-2 ERA guy that's going to win a Cy Young like Paul Skeens. I mean, you have that guy in that rotation, and going forward, I think Luis is going to be another firm rock foundation in this rotation this year. So, Lord willing, but you never know with injuries and what can come. But
for sure, and I think he was the most consistent. I think Brian Woo's a close second. I mean, Brian Woo had a great year this year,
dude. Breakout year.
I mean, I don't remember how many games it was in a row of. Was it 7 inning or 6 inning? Just straight 6 innings.
I think it was 6. It was 6 innings. 6 inning straights with less than 2 or 6 inning
Yeah.
straight starts, but not 2 runs. But I know I think he broke the Mariners record this year. I think for that.
He did.
I don't really
He
know.
did. He broke that record. I'm sure of it. I'm sure I heard that. But I mean, he had performances like that. Just being able to go out there and give him 6 innings almost every time. I mean, when that streak got broken, there were a lot of Mariners fans that were like, "Come on, man! Like, just leave him in." But obviously, coaching decided it was the best thing to take him out. And but he had a great year. I mean, he almost had a no-hitter. Um, thanks Jazz Chisholm for ruining that. But I mean, I think he was the most valuable pitcher that we had this year. I think a close second is probably Luis, just based on his consistency. I don't think he's better. I don't think he's better than Gilbert. I don't think he's better than Kirby. But I think just his consistency in play was it just brings him to number 2. So yeah, I mean, I think we've gone over most of the guys. I think if not all of them.
I mean, I'd like to highlight some people in the bullpen that had some breakout years for me.
That I was going to go to that next.
I think number one that comes to my head is Bizardo. That dude,
yes.
I don't know what they fed him in the offseason. I don't know if he went to Driveline. I don't know what they did. If he went to the Dominican lab or something, I don't know. But that dude was absolute nails this year. I know in Game 7 of the ALCS, whatever, he gave up a 3-run shot to George Springer. But you got to remember, Dan Wilson was going to a bullpen guy that was rocks for you, nails for you all season. I mean, it was the right move. Granted, you did have your starters in the bullpen waiting, but just the consistency of Bizardo, like you said with Castillo, like Bizardo was not injured very much this year. I think he had 1 or 2 minor injuries that kept him out for 2 or 3 games. But like, he's number 2 bullpen guy, like in our bullpen rotation. I think he's right behind Munoz. And I think Bizardo had a great year, and I really hope we can bring that back next year, because that will benefit us very well with the bullpen depth for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously Bizardo had a great year, breakout year. Nobody saw it coming. And everybody will point back to Game 7, like you said, but the guy had been great. I honestly think if Dan Wilson could go back and do it, I think he'd do it again. I don't think he would change it. I think maybe the only other person you could have put there was Munoz. Maybe that's a smarter decision, but hindsight's 2020. We're looking forward. I hope Bizardo can give us the exact same production that he gave us last year, this year, and this upcoming year. And I'm excited to see where he goes. Obviously, we got Munoz. Munoz, just one of the best closers in baseball.
Fireball.
Yeah. Senor Smoke.
I mean, you've got a snap hook slider, and then you have that new changeup he developed in the offseason. I mean, with the combo of the ride on his fastball and then the horizontal and vertical break on his slider, and you're going to a arm side changeup. I mean, it's just filthy, and I think he's a top 3 arm out of the bullpen any day of the week in the league. I don't think anybody compares.
And that's for sure. And then we got other guys. We have I'm trying to think. We got Matt Brash.
Spire.
We got Spire had a great year too. Spire was. I'd obviously just started watching it. Spire was one of my favorite guys to watch pitch. Just the energy he brings. I mean, and it's not just the energy. He plays great. All those guys obviously bring the energy, but Spire, it's a little more. He's got that dog in him.
Yeah, he's a little wiry.
Yeah, when he gets that final strikeout of the inning, he's going to let you know about it. it's very fun to watch.
I think we need more of that on the team. I think we do.
For sure. Yeah, and I mean, we got guys like Matt Brash, played great. Some of the lower lane bullpen guys that I can remember, like Carlos Vargas, had good play, but a lot of it was just, it wasn't very good. And yeah, and my hot take has always been, since I started watching it, is that Carlos Vargas has the most potential in that bullpen, just because of how hard he throws, the amount of stuff he has, and the movement he gets. He
I'd
just
agree.
he cannot keep it in the strike zone a lot.
I mean,
And
if you can figure out what some changes that need to be made with Vargas, and I mean, he could be the next Bizardo for next year. You never know. He can come out and have a breakout year like Bizardo did. I mean, you could have two Bizardos that like gets passed around by teams. Oh, he's inconsistent. Oh, he can't throw strikes, and then you have the development system you have in Seattle, which is like none to the best in the league, and you turn subpar pitchers into elite relievers that are worth millions of dollars. So I
yeah,
think Vargas has got some big upside for him coming up in this new year if he can stick around and figure some stuff out. I think he might be a little dark horse in the bullpen. You watch, promise you.
yeah. And I hope nothing but the best for him. He's one of when he was on this year, he was very fun to watch. I mean,
Oh yeah,
that cutter he has moves a mile and it fools batters. It's so fun to watch.
yeah.
All right, so the next thing that we have on the agenda for today is the ABS system. We talked a little bit about it last time, but let's just talk a little bit about it.
Do you want me to run the rules down so they know what the
Yeah,
rules are?
if you want to run the rules down, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, so the ABS system was played around with in the minors this year, and they finally decided. Thank you, Jesus, for bringing it to the MLB. So each team is allowed 2 challenges. If you challenge, the only people that can challenge are hitters, catchers, and pitchers, and it has to be called after the pitch is thrown immediately. You either tip your cap or you tap your cap or your helmet, and they'll go to the ABS. If you win the ABS challenge, you keep your challenge. If you lose the ABS challenge, you lose that challenge. Once you're out of your challenges, you have none left for the game unless you go into extra innings. Then you are granted an extra. You get 1 ABS challenge per inning. So say you use it in the 10th and you lose it. Now if you go to the 11th, then you get another one and you can use it again, and it keeps going on and on and on. So like for instance, when the Seattle Mariners play 18 innings, we get an extra 9. Essentially, get an extra 9 ABS challenges because it renews every inning. Now it doesn't carry over, so if we get it in the 10th, and we don't lose it when we go to the 11th, we don't get an extra one where we have 2. We only got 1. So that's how that works.
Yeah.
But that's just the ruling of the ABS this year, and it's gonna be interesting. But we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of guys on our team that could benefit from this. I think right at the top of that list is J.P. Crawford.
Oh,
J.P. Crawford.
yes.
J.P. Crawford's eye for the batter's box is insane. I mean, the amount of times that he got absolutely screwed on calls this year, it's like, and he knows it. You give him the ABS system and he gets those challenges back. How many walks he has, I think it's crazy. Especially with him playing leadoff a lot, the guy that grinds at bats and he knows where the strike zone is. I think that's gonna give him a big boost this year. I mean, even for guys like Julio. I mean, it's going to give a lot of guys a boost. A lot of guys that have great eyes for the batter's box, it's going to give them a boost. And obviously, management's going to know who should be challenging. Because I mean, you might have some guys that was a strike. No, it wasn't. That was a ball. No. So we're not going to let those guys challenge. But a guy like JP, I could definitely see. It's like if he wants to challenge it, he's going to challenge it. Because
1,000%.
With the exception of maybe 3 calls this year, he hasn't gotten it wrong. If he's been mad about a call, it's been a bad call.
Yeah, and he fights for himself, and it just goes to show that he's confident in his eye and where he sees the ball in his strike zone, being able to identify where the strike zone is. And I think it's going to benefit a lot of players, honestly. And I'm very interested. This is where I was going to go with this. I'm interested to see if that brings more value money-wise to newer players. So, like, they're going to have a new statistic with percentage with ABS calls being right and wrong. And I'm curious how that's going to play out in free agency, extensions, all this. And on top of that, how is that going to benefit, or not even benefit, but, like, affect the umpires? Like, is that going to drown out some umpires because their ABS percentage is bad? because of how bad their calls are, I think it's going to lean out some of the bad umpires because of that. Or they're bringing it in because of the bad umpiring and not being perfect. But I'm very interested to see. And I think Julio, Cal, and JP are going to be the top three, personally.
Yeah.
But I think there's going to be some
that's for sure.
exceptions for like Naylor, maybe Colt Emerson when he's up. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. That dude's got it. He doesn't swing at a lot of balls. He's got a good eye. I mean, it's just going to bring a different kind of style to the game. It's going to be more strategy based than anything now.
Yeah. And I like what they did with only giving you 2 challenges as well. So you still have room for human error, and I honestly think that's just part of the game. I mean, we get mad when the call screws us, but when it screws the other team, we don't really care. Like that's
we're glad. Are you kidding me?
Exactly. Yeah. So instead of, because I think if you brought in like complete ABS where there's no umpire and the computer just tells you what the call is, obviously it would be perfect, but I feel like a lot of people wouldn't prefer that to having an actual umpire there. I feel like if you asked a lot of people, they wouldn't care. Now, if you ask them after a game where they got screwed and lost the game, they'd say get the umpires out of there. But most of the time, there aren't a lot of bad umpires. There are a few, but there aren't it's not 80% of the umpires that are behind the plate are bad.
It's like 95% that are good. There's like a 5% lean out that are bad. I do believe. And that's where it gets tricky, is because if the game is so perfect with calls, then how is that going to affect the development of the new incoming players as well? That's where my mind goes, is not just about the game, but the development for other players and the uptick they can bring with the ABS coming in.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you have to just think about it. If you have kids that are going up through high school, college, and they don't have it, once they get to the big leagues and it's like you only have the ABS system, you don't have anything, it's going to be such a big curve to learn, because I'm pretty sure the strike zone shrinks if I'm not mistaken.
No, the strike zone stays the same no matter where you're at.
Oh.
It does. It never changes.
New baseball fan, my bad. But yeah, I feel like it'd be a bigger learning curve than just, hey, if you get to the pros and you get in, you have 2 challenges, but it's the same ump that you have behind every batter that you've had throughout your whole career. It's the same. It feels the same. So, I think there's a lot of players that'll benefit from it, but I haven't heard anybody oppose the ABS system.
I think they want it. I think they're sick and tired of these umpires making bad calls that they can't challenge. It's like football. I mean, we can bring in football. It's like challenging a play in football. Like, that's something that's always been available. I don't know if it's always been available, but it's always been available since I've been watching. And bringing them into it, I mean, bringing the challenge system into baseball, I think it's going to benefit more than it's going to hurt. I mean, it's like, nobody's perfect, obviously, but you should give the ability for somebody to test how perfect their eye is on strikes and balls. I mean, we have replay systems for outs being out or safe at first, or tags, or catching a ball, or is that ball fair or foul? I mean, you have that for that, but we didn't have it for the strike zone period, which I think they're going in a step of the right directions. I know a lot of old baseball fans, the older guys that are like 80, 90, 75, they'd be like, oh, no, that's all bogus. Like, it takes the fun out of the game. I think it makes it more interesting to watch. I think it makes it more interesting to watch.
I equate it to, we are tired of these umpires in the 8th and 9th inning having calls that just absolutely screw the other team.
Yeah, because they're tired, because they want to get the game over with.
Yes, and it's like they just want to go home or whatever, or they just make a bad call. I'll equate it to this. The Saints-Rams game a couple years ago before in the NFC Championship game, when there was a blatant pass interference call that was missed, you want to be able to throw a challenge flag at that and say, hey, that's bogus. We need to be able to challenge that. And I think the NFL did for maybe one season have where you could challenge PI. I think they got rid of it just because it was too hard to deal with. But it's the same principle. We're down by one. We have a guy on third, or the bases are loaded. We're down by one, and you call a strike instead of a ball that would have walked our guy and we would have gotten in. Instead, you call strike 3 and the game's over.
Yeah.
We're tired of that happening. Or, I mean, even I can think of one situation where Yamamoto had a immaculate inning, threw a ball right down the middle, and they called it a ball.
Yep.
It's like, in that situation, you want that ABS system.
And that's not the only time that's happened. The guy that threw the ball down the middle, thought it was strike 3, was walking off the mound like paused like a robot. And I was like, there's multiple scenarios. I mean, there's human error, obviously, but if you can get rid of the human error just a little bit to make the game a little more entertaining and almost perfect, I get where they're going. Like, I do. I understand.
Yeah, and obviously, like, baseball purists and everything are going to be against it, but every sport has purists, and most of the time, they're no fun to talk to about anything. Let's just be honest. They're no fun to talk to because it's like, well, back in my day, and it's like, okay, Gramps, we don't care.
We're not back in 1908.
This is baseball in 2026, and we will have the ABS system, and I think it will be a very good success for Major League Baseball.
Yeah. I'm just excited for the season to start and be able to just lay down in bed at night. Now, we live in Texas, obviously. It's Texas Trident Podcast. But, like, when there's games on at Seattle at 7 p.m. at night, and you're laying in bed watching a game at 9 p.m., and you're going to see some ABS calls, and you're like, yeah, that's awesome. And then, I mean, like, it's just going to make the game more fun to watch, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm right there with you. I can't wait for the season to start. I mean, I can't wait for the WBC to start. I want to watch all of it. Like,
I can't wait for the new game to drop. I mean, that too.
Yeah, MLB The Show 26, and we can talk about the cover athlete that was announced on the day of this recording.
Yeah,
Aaron Judge.
I mean, I'm not gonna go too far deep and be so biased about it, but I mean, can you give it to somebody else? I mean, I know he's MVP and he's the captain of the WBC USA team. I get it, I do, but like, why are we giving it to another guy that's already gotten it once when you had multiple people that were able to get it, like Skubal? I mean, look what Skubal has done for the last 2 years. 2 Cy Youngs back to back. Do we need to talk about that? And he's not a cover athlete. Are you kidding me? You put a rookie who had amazing 16 starts. I think it was 16. Paul Skeens made cover athlete. Great. But you have a guy that's doing generational things like Skubal, having 28 strikeouts in 2 games in the postseason, and he's not getting it. But you're giving the guy that's the captain MVP of 2025, I'm going to get into that, being another cover athlete. I mean, it's cool, but like there's other selections you could have jumped to.
And even if we were to get a little more biased, as you would say, the whole MVP race with Cal and Judge, I think Cal had a more historic season than Judge did. So why don't we make him the cover athlete? Why don't we make guys like Skubal the cover athlete? It's like, well, we wanted to make it WBC, and it's like, you can make the argument that Aaron Judge has already been the cover athlete. Shohei Ohtani's been the cover athlete, I believe, twice as well.
I think Ohtani has been once, and that was 18 or 19. One of those two. I think 18 was Judge, 19 was Ohtani. But why? Is it the biasness of being a Yankee fan? Is there some Yankee fans in San Diego studios? Like, I want to know.
You have to take that into account anytime that there's a decision like that made. Because, I mean, they are the oldest team in baseball. One of the oldest teams in baseball.
Bigger market.
You have to take that into consideration every time that a decision like this is made. But I feel like if you had to do it between Judge, Cal, and Scooble, I think if you rank them 1, 2, 3, I think Judge is 3. And I think you can go either one for Scooble or Cal. Because if you look back at this season, just between, if you look at pitching, you're looking at Paul Skeens and you're looking at Tarek Scooble. Just two lights out guys. Skeens had already been the cover athlete the year before. So if you were going to give it to a pitcher, who better than Tarek Scooble? There's nobody better. Back-to-back Cy Youngs. Just strikeout king.
Just disgusting. Just filthy.
Yes. And it's this changeup's gross. He throws 100. It's like, how do you not give it to that guy? And then if you go to a position player, I think more people are going to remember Cal Raleigh hitting 60 bombs as a switch hitting catcher than they're going to remember that Aaron Judge had a great batting average.
Had a 9 WAR with a 300 average and still almost hit 60 bombs and 120 ribbies. But I mean,
you have to think a lot of baseball fans are not watching that closely to stats. There are a lot that do, but there are a lot of them that just watch for pure entertainment value. And I would rather see a guy hit 60 bombs than a guy that has a good batting average. Because I will say this again. You can have a 300 batting average, all singles, and you do nothing. And you can bat 250 and all of your hits are home runs, and you've changed baseball. It doesn't matter.
And you're still losing the MVP voting. I mean, and that's where Judge winning the MVP, it makes sense because if you take both those guys off each roster, how good are the Yankees without Judge? How good are the Mariners without Raleigh? I mean, at the end of the day, you take away Raleigh, you still have superstars, but with the Yankees, they still have money. They can still go out and sign somebody. I mean, Lord forbid they're signing people for hundreds of millions of dollars. And
I don't know what you mean. You take Aaron Judge off, they still have Anthony Volpe.
That's a good one. I mean, what I'm trying to say is like they're both valuable, and I can see where the MVP race came from and how they voted because you have old voters and you have new voters. The old voters are going to look at statistics, and they're also going to be more biased towards older teams. The new voters are going to look more of impact on the season, if that makes sense to you. And I think it just led too much with the old voters, and the old voters were winning over the new voters saying, oh, look at this, and this. And they were just closing out Cal but Cal had so many more headlines. I don't know. I wish it wouldn't be so biased, but.
I mean, objectively, you can see how Judge would win. I mean, he did have, on paper, you've obviously seen the graphs of them side by side. It's like, oh, the only thing that Cal beats him in is home runs and RBIs. It's like, yeah, he's putting runs on the board. What do you want him to do?
But is Judge behind the plate 150 games out of the year and hitting from both sides and staying off the injured list?
Precisely.
I mean, I'm just saying.
But nobody talks about that. They're only going to be like, oh, only casuals think that Cal Raleigh should win MVP. That's just not true. I mean, if the MVP is a hitting award, Judge will win it every year for the next 3 years. It's just, he's that good of a hitter. But if you have to take into account defense, just the amount that because you have to think, Judge defensively, he played really well. I won't sit here and trash on him. He had a good year defensively. What is a harder defensive position to play? Right field or catcher? It's catcher by a mile.
Anybody can tell you that.
Exactly.
I mean, the wear and tear.
Because it's not just the defense. It's you have to manage a pitching staff. You have to know you have to spend time with all of these guys. As an outfielder, I'm sure there's more that goes into it with shifts and stuff, but you look up and you catch the ball. And sometimes Aaron Judge can't even do that.
And who's your next door neighbor? I mean, it makes sense, but I don't want to get into it. I mean, Judge,
And
obviously,
and let me
generational
not let
talent
me
guy.
exactly. I was about to say we like to get on Aaron Judge because there are so many people that get on Mariners fans for liking Cal Raleigh. We just like to get on the Yankees fans for liking Aaron Judge. That's it.
I
We're
mean,
just
we'll
trolling.
ride Cal until we die. They'll ride Judge until they die. Both great
Exactly.
baseball players. I have nothing against. I love Judge. You can't hate the dude. The dude's awesome. He's great in the community. He does great things on the baseball
For
field.
sure.
But I just wish things were a little less biased, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah. That's for sure. And but yeah, as far as the cover athlete thing goes, I think it's great that he got it. I wish it would have been somebody else, but it is what it is. I mean, the cover's gonna look good. Somebody was like, "Well, Judge would look better on the cover than Cal." I'm like, you could give them literally anybody, and they could make the cover look good.
I mean, unless
You
it was
could
from the
put
backside.
well, if it's from the backside, then Cal wins unanimously. What are we talking about? They don't call him the big dumper for no reason.
Oh,
I
double
mean,
wide.
yeah, that's for sure.
I
Um,
mean,
but like I said, it is what it is. I'm buying the game regardless, whether it's got Judge on it or anybody else, because the game's just fun. And if you haven't played it, I suggest that you go play it. Go buy it and go play it. It's
big
hard.
learning curve.
It's a big learning curve. Tanner can tell you all about it. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun game. Go play it. I'm gonna play it. So, just to wrap things up, we're getting pretty close to needing to get off. But just some suggestions that we're gonna maybe take from some of y'all. If y'all want to comment on this, we're gonna start doing more segments to just kind of get away from baseball a little bit, kind of separate ourselves a little bit. I know there's a lot of baseball podcasts, but we want to kind of separate ourselves a little bit and be different. So we're thinking about having maybe a segment where it's like, call it Top 10 Tuesdays. We'll come up with a topic. Let's just use this as an example. We'll just use movies. I'll give my top 10 movies. Tanner will argue whether I'm tripping or whether it's valid that I have these top 10 movies in my list. And I think it'll be good. Get a little bit argumentative. But if y'all have any suggestions for the top 10s, just leave them in the comments. If you have any suggestions on anything that you want us to talk about, I mean, we're into all kinds of sports. I'm sure when the Super Bowl happens, we'll talk about it.
Go Seahawks.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he may have got me to be a Mariners fan. I am still a Cowboys fan, and I will die a Cowboys fan. You will not get me away from the Dallas Cowboys. It is sad over here. I will say that. It's like a cloud over our heads all year because Jerry Jones is alive. But I'm completely joking. But we do need a new GM. But we like other sports. We're really into the UFC, so when they have events, we'll probably give our thoughts on that. But that's more for the future. If y'all guys have anything that you want to hear us talk about, within reason, obviously, just put it in the comments. Yeah, and I think that should do it for tonight.
Yeah, I think I will. And once again, like Sam was saying, we're going to be doing that new segment. So y'all be on the lookout for Top 10 Tuesdays. And I think on Saturday, I think we'll do some questions if y'all have any about baseball or about anything really. We can answer some questions mainly about baseball if y'all want to hop in and throw some comments down in the comment section. We'll read those, or you can shoot us a DM. That's our Instagram handle is up here, so y'all can go on Instagram, type that in, it'll pop up. And if y'all have any questions about the Mariners throughout the season, whenever that comes up, or WBC, we'll more than gladly answer some of those on Saturday. And I think this will do it. I mean, good episode.
Yeah, that's for sure. Good episode today. The only thing we have up right now is YouTube. So like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about us if you like our content. And yeah, that should do it for tonight. So we'll see y'all in the next one.
All right, y'all have a good one. See y'all.